right. And now you should be seeing this in full screen. Welcome everybody to How to Run a Panel, the panel. So today we'll be talking about specifically running panels at virtual alterhuman cons. Oh, no, sorry, my keyboard sometimes gets a little excited and I like to skip forward, but we're right here in the introductions. So my name is Nova, and we're actually a whole flight of dragons masquerading as a person, and we also identify as other vague and have a collective Hydra link type.
And we're the Draconic Wizard Workshop, usually shortened to DWW. We're a group of 60-plus dragons, wizards, engineers, among others, mostly vampires, who are collectively a dragon, love to write and run panels. We're probably, I'd say, best known for Goratrix's work. Specifically today, you've got Medivh and Khadgar kind of working together. Because we're not unblurring. That's too much work.
All right. So we're going to start today talking specifically about the technical aspects of running a panel. So what I mean is, like, we'll save, like, coming up with ideas and such later. This is specifically, like, how do you make slides? How do you get on the schedule? How do you get on the stage? Those sort of, like, questions. And so the tools you need is kind of depends on what you want to do. So, like, what kind of presentation is this? Obviously, the most common is that people make slides and they get on the Discord stage and they start talking, like what we're doing right now. You don't have to do that. It's not required to have slides. Also, it's not required to do a voice panel. We've had, not many people have done it, but we have had a few text-based panels and they've always gone well. I think there was one last Centaurus Festival, if I remember right. I think it was called something like I info dump about taxonomy for an hour or something like that. And it went great. Or I know we've had several at other con as well. Just giving you options. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But, like, think about, like, what you would need to run your panel. Like, if you're going to talk, do you have a microphone? Are you in an environment where you can speak freely? Or you're, like, in the back of the library and you have to kind of whisper? Are there going to be people home with you? And so you maybe certain topics you wouldn't want to bring up. Just kind of think in advance, like, what you're capable of and what you would need to make that happen. So again, I'm going to talk about slides specifically just because it's not required, but a lot of people like them. And I came up with, like, 4 potential options you could use to make slides. There's probably others. These are the 4 that I think most people would use. Besides PowerPoint, because, like, we already know about that. Yeah, but Microsoft Office costs money, so let's talk about other things. Google Slides are there. They're really accessible. They're free. Google sucks, but, sometimes it's the only options, especially if you don't want to pay money. But there are other free ones, and we'll talk about them next. So Canva is an up-and-coming, or I guess it's pretty popular at this point. We made this presentation on Canva. It's a website that lets you, like, design flyers, social media posts, PowerPoints. It does a little bit of everything. It has a free tier, but it's going to be very eager to get you to pay money. So there's, like, a bunch of free templates, but interspersed there'll be some premium ones that have little, like, crown icon. Of course, those are the really pretty ones. But I find it very user-friendly. There's a lot of stuff on it, but I find compared to other options, you can figure it out. It just takes a little bit. And obviously I'm a little biased because I made this presentation in Canva. PDFs in general could be used as slideshows. So anything that makes a PDF, you could go into Microsoft Word, or if you had a Google Doc, you could export it as a PDF. I'm trying to think of other things. Anything. A bunch of things make PDFs. And then you could just open it in your browser and just, like, click through the pages and it would work. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not going to have fancy animations or whatever. And you might be limited in templates because you'd need another thing to make the PDF. But hey, it works. LibreOffice. I haven't used I use LibreOffice, but just like the Word equivalent. But I heard they have an Impress that makes slides. So that's an option too. And LibreOffice is, like, an open source, free Microsoft Office. Sorry, Kiwi's crying. So if you hear her, she's fine. She wants us to be on the left side of the room when we're on the right. No, it's not time for that.
The third panelist, the
It's not time for
crier.
that. She's looking at the other side of the room. It's like, we're supposed to be in front of the TV. It's like, no, we're in front of the computer right now. But anyway. Oh, you didn't see that. So getting on the schedule. Professionalism. So we're going to talk about getting on the schedule. So I'm assuming at this point you haven't finished your presentation, but you got an idea of what you want to do. You want to run a panel and how to make panels. You know you're going to make a slide of some manner, and like that's great, but now how do you get on, like how do you let the con know that you want to present it? So I'd follow the con that you're looking to present at on social media. A lot of them will have websites. I think all of them have websites. But social media is going to be the most active, and they're going to be actively posting links to, like, hey guys, register. They're going to have the most updated dates there. Follow them, check them out. And usually a few months in advance, they'll have like a 1 to 2 month window, depending on the con, where they say, hey, here's a Google form, fill it out, and then we'll look over your application and we can get you on the schedule. You go there and you're going to fill out, let's say you're super excited. The first day it opens, you go fill out that Google form. And then you wait. And I expect to wait until the registration window closes, because I think pretty much everyone will waits until the window, like the full window closes, and then reviews everyone at once. But I would say don't be nervous about getting your panel. Don't be overly nervous and psyching yourself out about getting your panel like rejected, because I've been helping out at cons for 6 years now, like alterhuman ones, and I can't remember the last time a panel was outright rejected, if there ever was one. If they have questions, staff might reach out and say, hey, this topic, we want to see if it fits better in the 18 plus area, or if you plan to do XYZ, or I don't know. If they have questions, they'll ask you. They're not just going to outright deny it. Like, everyone who runs these cons are really cool people. And then let's say you're accepted. Then a week before the con, you would receive an email that will give you an invite link to the Discord. So watch your emails. If you do not receive that, and it's a few days before the con, reach out to staff, because you should have received it. Check your spam, and make sure when you are filling out the forms, you give an email you actually check. All right, so I kind of mentioned it already. My keyboard is just so eager today.
Sorry, I snuck into your house and lubed your keyboard before the presentation. Is that okay?
Damn, that's fine. And when I was buying this keyboard, that everyone said, like, I love it, but it does this. And I'm like, yeah, but it's really cute. So I have like 3 of them. But anyway, so I've been staff for a number of the cons, other cons, Centaurus, HowlCon. And so I'm going to talk about a little bit behind the scenes about, like, when you're filling out the form, what to expect on it, and like what staff is thinking when they're reviewing it. So the first part of the form is going to be the basics. Email, pick one, write down one that you check, because that's where the invite link's going to come. Social media link, this is to just check that you're a real person and not like a bot, or really to keep trolls out, because I vividly remember it's OtherCon 2020. We're so excited. Everyone's really nervous because there's never been Alterhuman Con before. And most people are like, yeah, we're going to get raided and this is going to suck. And it did go on going well, and I don't know how many people remember, but the very, very first panel was a troll who had no intention of showing up. So everyone piled in for the very first panel of this con. We're all very nervous, and then it just gets canceled immediately. And so that's why a lot of the conventions now will ask things to try and verify that you're actually going to show up, and that you have an intention, just to troll deterrent. We're also obviously going to ask for your Discord username, because they're all currently Discord cons. Obviously, things will be changing. Well, I shouldn't say obviously. We don't know what Discord's going to do with the age verification stuff. So some of the things we're saying may change in the future, but we can't plan for things that haven't happened yet, and how we aren't sure I'm going to implement. So I'm telling you as it is right now. So the next thing we're going to ask for so email, social media link. Ideally, you'd pick something Alterhuman related, or Or if you don't have like a Tumblr or a Dreamwidth, put in maybe a personal website, or say, hey, I'm this user on non-human national park or something. I've seen people do that. And we'll also ask for things like related to your panel, like, do you have any other panelists who are presenting with you? What's the name of the panel? What's the description? I really recommend keeping the description short, no more than one paragraph, because the description goes on the con schedule, and it just looks a lot nicer and neater if it's concise, because a lot of words and people don't read it. Time slots. So what we'll ask is like, hey, here's the 3 days of the con, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What days are you available? Are you available in the morning, evening, afternoon? And also double check when you're submitting that what time zones they're asking for, because they'll probably say something when they're asking when you're available, like, hey, the con is in Central Time. What time slots would you want? So just double, like read carefully so you get the right time. And then also mark how long you plan to run it. Most panels are an hour. Yours doesn't have to be. It can be 30 minutes. It can be 2 hours. It could be whatever makes sense. Guess to the best of your ability. If later on you're like, oh, geez, I did a test run. I need an extra 30 minutes. You just email staff or update your Google form if that one allows it, and it'll be fine. Mark if it's 18 plus, and also there'll be a thing asking if your panel can be recorded. Don't be afraid. If you're not comfortable having it recorded, just mark no, and it'll be respected. Like, no worries. Oh. All right, so I think the most daunting question is describe what this panel is about, why you want to run it, and any other relevant information. So again, this is kind of just to make sure that like you're serious about showing up. So like, this isn't a description of the panel. This is more so like more from like the panelist point of view. Like the meeting part will probably sound pretty similar to the description of the panel, but then also just like something I've done before is like hey, I made a zine and I thought it's really great and it's about dragons, and I want to run it to get more exposure for it. Or like this one I think I wrote down something like, the panel is about how to run panels. We want to run it to encourage other people to run their own panels at Alterhuman cons. And any other information is just a catch-all for like, and anything that just like doesn't fit anywhere else. Like, hey, I know I marked I'm available in the morning, but if you can get that to like the earliest possible thing because of my time zone, I would really deeply appreciate that. So anything that like just doesn't fit anywhere else, feel free to put it right there and we'll see it. So proof of concept, or probably the next most daunting part of this, is that we're gonna ask for proof of your panel. It's just, again, to make sure that you plan to run it. So this could be a script, slides, notes, a video if it's pre-recorded. Like, it doesn't have to be a finished slideshow. It doesn't have to be a finished script or finished notes. We don't expect you at this point to have like the final draft of anything. Just send us what you have. Just like show us like the start of it. I've sent things I've sent in the past are like a screenshot, because I was making a pre-recorded video, a screenshot of like the progress on a meditation I was writing or something like in the video editor. I've sent, I had a meetup and I wrote like starter questions to ask people to get the conversation rolling. When Dosky and I do the design to critter, I send a Google spreadsheet where I like list the different body parts we're planning to make options for. So there'll be an option to either upload a file or to provide a link to it is. And also, if I would say, if you are planning, because I know OtherCon does this, I don't know, I think the others do as well. If you want, they also asked if you're planning to present a movie, you submit it like a panel. So it's a little weird because you're like, well, how do I prove that I'm going to run the movie? What I did last year is I took a picture of me holding the DVD and said I promised to run it. But if you don't have a physical one, you could take a screenshot of like the digital movies you have. You could just put like anything, maybe just put a description of what I would personally like to see is, since if I was the one reviewing it, would just be like a a piece of, like a document that says the name of the movie, the runtime, the rating, and the description. Because then when I'm putting it on the calendar, it's so much easier. And I would accept that as proof. All right, so let's say you're in, you got the invite, your panel's accepted. You got the invite link. You are currently in the Discord. You have a week before attendees show up. Now what? All right, so stage time. So when it is time for your panel, you start the stage. So what you would do is you will already have the panelist role. So you will have stage perms. So when you go into the stage channel, one of the options will say something at the very top will say start the event, and it'll list the name of the event. And you click that and it'll take you onto the stage right away. And if during that process you run into any problems, do not be afraid to add staff. I mean, this goes kind of throughout any part of this, really. Like, same thing if you're like filling out the Google form to submit your panel. If there's any point in time where you're like, I don't know if this counts or if this is okay, or I need help with this part, just message staff. Everyone's really cool and they want you to, and they want to help you. Like, don't be afraid to reach out if you're unsure. And we recommend starting 10 to 15 minutes early to check your audio and visuals. And again, if you get on stage and your audio doesn't work, at staff and let them know you're having trouble. The first things to check would obviously be make sure your mic isn't muted, make sure your speakers aren't muted, double check where your output is, and make sure it's the correct thing. Like, I had trouble yesterday when I was at opening ceremonies because I had my mic muted, I had my speakers all muted, and then the outputs were all wrong because I'd gotten new speakers and then I didn't change over it just happens. And sometimes Discord just likes to do things for fun. I think one of the panels yesterday we had to just, like, everything was working, and then for some reason Discord just made us go to another panel stage, and then it just worked. We'll figure it out. Don't worry too much about it, but just let people know what's going on so we can start troubleshooting together. And you will not be the only one who has technical issues. It happens. It's Discord, so it happens a lot. And don't feel embarrassed or whatever. It happens. And it's going to be okay. Oh. All right.
We're skipping my slides.
Sorry.
Nobody doesn't love me anymore.
Am I on the right one?
So, yeah.
Okay,
pretty
good.
Sure. It's fine. Everything's great. Okay, so, that's all great. You get on stage. But how do you actually run a panel? How do you do it? Well, I have really good news for you. It's easier than you think. Everyone wants you to succeed. You do not have a panel nemesis. No one's haunting you. No one's trying to sabotage you. No one wants you to fail. No one likes seeing panelists struggle. Everyone will do everything they can to help you. Audiences are, in my experience, literally always nice. I have never experienced someone be mean in the audience of a panel. And people are at your panel because they're interested in what you have to say. No one's attending your panel because they hate your voice and think your idea is stupid. If they don't like your panel, they're going to go, great, I get to skip that one and go get lunch. But what if I'm nervous? All panelists are nervous. It's normal. I'm nervous right now. People are super nice, especially staff and your fellow panelists. I've only ever received a lot of encouragement from staff and panelists. If you're unsure how to do something, there are people there to help you. Ask questions. Staff is there to help you. Please ask them. They will fall over themselves to help you. They want you to succeed. And you don't have to run a panel by yourself. You can run it with a friend if that's less intimidating, or if you think you can't talk for the full time. For example, we're running a panel together.
It's so nice.
And it's so nice because you get to take a break, because talking for an hour sucks.
I know. I immediately got up and give baby grapes.
And be brave. You can do it. Go ahead and switch next slide. I know you're doing grapes. What should your panel be about? It can be about anything. The main thing is to have a firm idea. You can either come up with something yourself or ask people ahead of time what kind of panels they want to see. I know a lot of people have panel ideas that they don't want to run. They want to see someone else run them because maybe they're not experienced or they're too nervous. They have good ideas. So if you want to do a panel but you don't know what to do, you can gather ideas from people and go, oh, that sounds interesting. And the idea doesn't have to be serious. It can be silly. Not all panels are educational. My favorite feedback I've ever gotten on the Fiction Folk Roundup was someone said that where it was complaining that it wasn't educational enough, and that cracked me up because it was a very silly panel. You can run silly panels. These Alterhuman cons are not strictly, serious and educational. As a result, a panel can be anything. A lecture, a conversation, an activity, an AMA, and Ask Me Anything. Anything you can think of. You can either be the star of the show, like doing a lecture or an AMA, or just guide conversation or an activity, like the Fiction Folk Roundup, which is running tomorrow if you're not sure what that is. It can be a broad community topic. It can be just for fun. It can be all about you and your experience and identity. There is nothing stopping you from going, hi, I'm going to run a panel on myself. I'm just going to talk about me and my experiences, and I promise people will show up. They want to hear about it. Oh, in the chat, Orion has a list of panels or ideas, a list of ideas for panels or essays about alterhuman topics. Steal these ideas.
Yeah, I think I'd have to dig for it, but I think OtherCon did a survey in 2021, I want to say, where they asked people, like, what do you want to see next year?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta find that.
There's so many good ideas. People have so many ideas. All right, next slide. Whoop. There we go. Okay. So now I've got some advice for very specific types of panels. For example, if you're doing a lecture, outline, outline, outline. Please outline your lecture before you write a script. It will make your life so much easier. The outline does not need to be good. On a future slide, I will show you. I have done some real stinkers of outlines. Practice ahead of time to know how long your lecture will take. You don't need to do like the full reading it out loud. You can just kind of mumble it to yourself if you want to. If you pre-record your panel, however, don't worry about it. It's going to work. It's going to be fine. You can just edit it and keep doing it. If you're running an activity, make sure any programs or websites are working ahead of time. And I don't just mean days ahead of time. I mean half an hour, 20 minutes before your panel. Run a test to make sure that it's not down right now. Make sure it's working. Prepare for any amount of participation. I'm always surprised by how many people show up to activities. Either it's not very many or it's way too many, and you're like, oh no, I didn't prepare for 50. Prepare for 50. Also prepare for 4. And the nice thing about running an activity is it's often kind of low prep. You don't need to write this big script. You don't need to put together a slideshow. It's like, I put together a Kahoot. Like, If you're doing an AMA, which stands for Ask Me Anything, make sure to provide enough info in your introduction to give material to ask about. If you're just like, hi, I'm Medivh. Ask me anything. It's like, okay, give them something. But also don't take too long with your intro. I'd say if you have an hour, don't spend more than 15 or 20 minutes on your intro. You're not going to have time to answer questions. You're just going to be talking about yourself, which is fine, but that's a different type of panel. And remember, you need to have water. You need to have water, you will suffer. Please have water. I have water right now.
Yeah, I got a smoothie. Ooh, I need to drink more of it.
That was a water break.
Yeah.
Got it. Ooh.
There we are.
Ooh, ooh, we sliding. On the topic of outlines, your outlines can be deeply unserious. There's a couple screenshots of a couple of our outlines. I know they're really little. I'm sorry. Outlines can be silly, they can be ugly. They're really just for you and proof of concept to convention staff. I usually send my outline to con staff and then write the actual lecture, usually in the week leading up to the con. Don't be like me. Please write it earlier than that. I have a workflow and I know what works for me. You can refine your idea and your outline into a nice script or other format later. If you think we're joking, here's a couple snippets of Khadgar's outline for his panel last year. do a couple of highlights of which include who the fuck is that guy? Your new grandpa. Why am I talking about this? I got Baja blasted in canon. I didn't care for it. And what the hell am I talking about? As well as I do a cool kickflip off my metaphorical skateboard that makes people shout, "Go Grandpa, go!" Say something really inspiring and wrap everything up in a nice conclusion that has people cheering and sends them off happy and introspective. This was a real outline I did send to staff, and they said go for it. I'd love to see this panel. Thank you to everyone shouting, "Go Grandpa, go!" I seem to recall I genuinely just never came up with a conclusion when, here's my conclusion. Go Grandpa, go. So your outline doesn't have to be good, and I think that takes a lot of pressure off of it. Next. Quick note about accessibility. If you want to know more about internet accessibility, Nova has hosted an entire panel about this. It is very, very good. Please go look at it. This is a quick and dirty bullet point list. This is not exhaustive. If you are using a script, please consider providing a link to it for attendees so that they can follow along at home. This makes your panel more accessible for those with audio processing issues, attention issues, or who are hard of hearing. I know that when I am listening to a lecture, if they don't provide a script, I'm going to miss entire sentences. I don't know what you said. I'm sorry. Please try to make any scripts, slideshows, or other visual aids easy to follow with good contrast. If it's hard to read, if you put yellow on white, I'm not forgiving you. I'm kidding. But that is something to think about. How readable is it for most people? Please also do not include flashing lights or quickly flickering videos or GIFs, as this may trigger seizures in some attendees. That is not fun. Please do not give seizures to attendees. However, you must also make your panel accessible for you. What's easy for you? What's possible? What can you do and what can you not do? Be honest and kind with yourself. If you genuinely can't talk for an hour, but you have a whole lecture, you can pre-record panels. You know, you can just read it a paragraph at a time and stitch it all together in post and then just put that up. You can do text-based panels, as Nova mentioned earlier. You have so many options open to you. Please do not overdo it. Please do not make yourself think, I have to do it like everyone else does it. And also remember, you're not doing this for money. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're not getting paid. Please put no more effort into this than you would anything else you want to present. Like, by all means, make it nice, but, like, don't stress. This isn't for a job. This isn't for a grade. You're doing this for fun because you love whatever it is that you are presenting and because you want to share it with people. Don't work yourself to the bone. Please be kind to yourself. Next. That's it. Yeah, that's it. No, really, go make a panel. Have fun.
I actually thought
There's really nothing else to it. Oh, wait, that's not it. Oh.
Oh, it's not? Oh.
Well, you said you thought of something.
Oh, I did, actually. Sorry. I thought of something I didn't say during my part of it.
Go for it.
As we were talking before, I just want to say, too, because I know panels are recorded, so if yours is being recorded, if you want to record yours while it's presenting, that's always appreciated, but that staff does it. So don't feel obligated to learn OBS. Like, oh geez, I didn't realize it was being recorded. I'm supposed to do that? No, you're not. You're not supposed to do that. Like, it's always appreciated because the more recordings, the more, then in case something happens, if someone else's, yours is there. But that's on staff. Don't worry about it. If you're just stressing about your panel, you don't need one more thing. Don't worry about it.
I get off my nice computer and go lock myself in my room with my dinky 9-year-old laptop to do panels so that I don't have background noise. If I tried to record on my laptop, it would light on fire. Thank you, staff, for recording, so I don't have to.
Yeah, and the other thing I was going to say, too, was if anything ever happens, like you submit your panel and you're approved and you're on the schedule and something happens and you can't run it anymore, just let staff know. It's okay. You will not be the only one. I can guarantee
we all have life emergencies.
It's fine.
It happens.
Yeah, this is a volunteer thing. It's not a contract you signed. You're not like it's a fun thing we're doing for fun. It's don't worry about it. You don't have to like and when you're telling staff, you can just say, hey, something came up or I can't make it anymore. You don't have to tell us the reason if you're not comfortable. Like you're not obligated to at all. Just let us know.
No one's gonna be mad.
No one's gonna be mad. Just let us know so we can adjust the schedule.
And if you let them
Anything
know
is preferable
ahead of
to just not
time,
showing up.
yeah, please don't just
Anything is
no-show if at all
preferable to
possible.
ghosting
Like,
us.
like I mean, if something happens on your way home, like 10 minutes before the panel, no one's gonna be mad that you're like, "Hey, gang, sorry," but like, please let staff know as soon as you can. They're not gonna be mad. They'll figure it out.
I think
Go deal with your thing.
One panel I think was canceled once because like they had a power outage and I was like, sorry guys. But they didn't know. Like it was like last minute.
I mean, that's life. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah. I can finally look
I think it's question time. Is it question time? Is there no questions? Please put them in panel questions. Please do not put them in the panel stage chat. You're not in trouble if you did. It's just it gets lost.
Yeah.
It's just a little more convenient to be able to toggle between.
Pictures. How do we know which convention fits best for a panel idea?
I don't think about that. I'm just like, do I have an alterhuman panel? Do I have an alterhuman con? Here is my panel.
I would say too, how comfortable are you with public speaking and getting in front of others? Because OtherCon is going to have, OtherCon has had upwards over 100 people attend a panel before. Where Centaurus Festival or HowlCon like will probably be about 30 people, maybe 40, especially depending on like what time, what the panel is. So are you comfortable being in front of 100 plus people? Or would you rather...
True. That's actually a really good point. When I have like a really controversial topic or something I feel is a hot take, I am much more likely to bring it in front of Centaurus Festival because it's smaller and there's fewer people, there's less likely for chance for conflict. And since it's smaller, it's easier for staff to keep an eye on everything. I am not knocking OtherCon. I am not saying OtherCon staff doesn't have things handled. It's just that OtherCon is very, very big and the team is quite small, so it's hard for you guys to catch everything.
Yeah, and also I would say...
it's sometimes nice to do a test run at Centaurus Festival before taking it to OtherCon.
Mm-hmm. Though I also want to shout out OtherConnect, which is OtherCon's off-season server, does allow people to have like on-the-fly panels year-round. So if you want another way to test your panel, like let's say you're ready to dive into OtherCon because you watch this panel and you're so inspired, and there's not another chance to get in front of people before that con, you can set up an event through OtherConnect, and you can get in front of people just whenever you have a chance. Just do a test run if you want. It's an option. And it would be, I think, a lot less attended because it's an on-the-fly panel, so you could probably only get 20 people, I would guess. So it's a nice small way to test it, but in front of actual people. Otherwise, another way you could try and find what convention fits best is think about, like, Centaurus Festival has a very, like, folklore or, like, mythical creature theme. If your panel was aligned with that, it'd be a good fit. HowlCon has, like, a camping theme and it's kind of sillier. So those would be other things that could influence your decision if you're not sure. Or also, there are also very different times of the year. If you know you're going to be super busy in October, pick something easier if you want to present at HowlCon. Just kind of thinking about your schedule.
There's also, I guess, the note of, like, for something like the Fiction Folk Roundup, where it's basically just a group conversation. I believe I ran it at Centaurus Festival impromptu last year, and then I ran it at HowlCon. I did not run it at OtherCon because of OtherCon's size. that kind of panel, that like one person talking with the audience, would be very difficult with like if I got 100 people. It's much easier with a smaller audience. So I guess that's something to keep in mind, is if it's an activity, you might want to run it at a smaller convention if it's one that requires a lot of conversation. But if it's an activity that banks on you having dozens and dozens of people, a larger con is a better idea, because then you're much more likely to get a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like our
Any other
Dosky and
questions?
ours. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just asking. Like, I'm just prompting people for questions while you continue. We don't
Gotcha.
have
Yeah.
any.
Yeah, I was just saying about
We're gonna keep talking about this so you guys get more questions. If you get tired of this topic, come up with something.
yeah, I can talk forever. But I was just saying that Dosky and I run Create a Critter, and it always goes very well at other con because the more people, the crazier it gets, and it's a really good time. But I think we've run it at most of the cons, in at least some capacity. Also, if you
It's
find
a
an
good
idea,
time.
yeah, we should run it. I have not asked Dosky at all yet because panel submissions haven't opened, but I would like to run it again at this next other con. But
I guess another little recommendation I have, if you're nervous, like me, when running a panel, I like to play a little bit of music in the background, because the silence kind of gets to me. Because I feel
mm,
like a bunch of people are silently staring at me and I don't like it, so I play some music. And what I usually play is the kind of background music I would play while running a tabletop game, because then I feel like I'm DMing. I trick myself into my DMing mode, because then of course I'm
there
talking
you
to a
go.
bunch of silent people. My players are being polite while I'm telling them something.
They're listening. They're
They're
attentive.
listening. So if you are a DM and nervous about running a panel, it's actually just DMing.
Yeah. Also, just gonna shout out to what Paige is saying that if you do want to submit a panel to Centaurus Festival, if you're really inspired, there's still time to do it before the end of the con. Because we were joking all last panel that you should wait until after this one and then immediately just go and submit it. And there's still time. So there's Sunday is almost completely booked except for the morning, but just a reminder to anyone who's US based, it is daylight savings time tomorrow, so just take that into account if you're considering it. We
We've
will
got
be
a
losing an hour.
question. For scripts, how much on the script to detailed bullet points is good? Obviously, it's sort of personal preference, but is it better to have a full script? That is entirely going to be personal preference. I like to have a full script because I don't always remember what I want to say for each bullet point. Whatever lets you most effectively communicate to yourself what you want to say is going to be best. It really just kind of is how your brain works. If you work best on just doing a bunch of bullet points, then looking at those and kind of not really making it up as you go, but sort of just talking based on your bullet points, great. I struggle to do that in anything but a presentation. I could not do that for a lecture. I would die. Um, so we like to do full scripts for lectures, which is why about a week before any con, we don't talk to people for like 24 hours because Goratrix is locked in. It's always Goratrix. And he spits out like 5,000 words in a day and goes, "Here is my script," and it's terrifying. I do not recommend the lock in for 24 hours and spit out a 5,000 word script method. It's not fun and I don't like it.
Yeah.
But whatever you want.
You got it done though. You get it done.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've written full scripts before. Like digital accessibility was written. I wrote out the whole script. It was like 60 pages long or something. But this one was just some bullet points and pretty much just the slides. It depends on the topic. Depends how confident I am, and I'll write full scripts if it's something where I really want to make sure I don't miss a single detail. But like that one isn't necessarily better than the other. It depends on works best with you. See, I wrote a full script and I thought I had it timed out because I read a single page, and then I was like, okay, well, I'll just times that by the amount of pages I have, and then I still went 30 minutes over. If you're unsure,
Well,
round up the time. Just
round up.
saying. Yeah, I'm much more likely to go over and cons do try to put a 30-minute to an hour buffer between panels, but it's not always possible. Because especially, I remember when I was making the schedule for HowlCon, and like every single person wanted the same like 2-hour time slot on Saturday, and I'm like, someone has to go Sunday, someone has to go Friday. You all can't go at 2 p.m. on Saturday. So it just gets, yeah. At certain times, it's back to back. But if you've built in extra time already, then you're set.
Then you're set. Any other questions? Did we do the perfect panel? Did we explain everything?
Probably. I think it's not really like. I feel like it's alterhuman cons are pretty approachable, and I think it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're wanting to run a panel, it's probably because you have a general idea of what you want to do. And it's I feel personally like it's more the nerves of like, I don't know if I can do that. Yeah, you can. Like, we're not. Just get on
I have
stage.
a secret for everyone who's never run a panel. Come closer. I have a secret. Don't tell anyone. Running a panel's crazy fun. You should totally do it. If you've never run a panel before, I would probably recommend not jumping straight into it for the Centaurus Festival, trying to squeeze in somewhere. Totally do it if you want to. Like, dive in if that's your vibe, but, like, by all means, take some time. Like, it's scary, I get it, but it's also a lot of fun. I have so much fun.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. And like, you don't have to be like the expert to end all experts to get on stage and start talking.
No.
Like, don't worry about it too much.
No, are you kidding? Paige let me on stage. I don't know anything.
I'll never forget when I was it was like when I first started doing OtherCon, I didn't have an alterhuman account anything, and I was still shocked that I was allowed to do anything. They just brought me up, let me get on stage, let me be staff. It just showed up and said I really wanted to help out.
Literally,
Also,
Goratrix was like born at OtherCon 2021 and then rocked up to
What?
OtherCon 2022. Like, I have a panel. No, he formed during OtherCon 2021. This is not a joke. He'd been kind of slowly forming, and then we attended a panel about like kind of like more quote unquote problematic individuals, and he like poked his head out. Yes, he formed like during Pale's panel and started talking to us after and scared the shit out of us. And then the very next year, he's like, hello, here's my problematic fiction folk panel. They let his ass on stage as a 1-year-old. Like,
See?
You can do it. They let a baby up there.
I'll have to remember and say happy birthday to him next year. Next year? Wait, that's 6 months from now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 6 months.
Also, bold of me to call him a baby at 1-year-old. I rocked up about a year and a half ago.
Child labor at OtherCon? Oh my god. Canceled.
Oh god, yeah. I don't think Pale knows. We haven't talked to Pale in years.
Yeah, I haven't seen Pal around. Not that I'm like leaving the rock I live under, so that doesn't mean anything. I only crawl out of my hovel to attend cons.
I feel like we're so many people's like con friend. Like, we only talk to people at cons and then we just disappear.
I don't know
It's
if
like,
I
hey,
talk to people
excited
at
to
cons.
see you 3 times a year.
Cons are great though.
Breaking down Pale's Discord DMs to be like other kind of child labor right after your con panel. It's true, I was the child. Hey, Trix. I'm going to need to run
Especially if
another
you're running
panel
something
soon,
like an
people are gonna
AMA
think
or
I'm out
something,
of
like you're the
material.
expert on you. So like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
No one can
require,
run
like, 0.
No one can run your AMA.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like no prep. It's like, okay, what am I going to say about myself? Like, here's my 4 paragraphs about myself, and then you just wait. Then people just ask you questions, you get to talk about yourself.
I gotta run one of those.
We were, our Ando Infective was going to run an AMA with a couple of other friends for this Centaurus Festival. but for a few reasons we were not able to get it together in time because people have been sick and
Yeah.
have not, like, it's a lot of work. Next year.
Next year. Yeah, I think I want to
Be a
run that.
beautiful 3-person AMA because we had so much fun having a 3 vampire AMA.
Oh, I remember
It was
that.
stupid fun.
That'd be a
Highly
good time.
recommend.
And if you run it with other people can take the question if you're like, I don't
Mm-hmm. We don't rewatch our own panels, but we might rewatch the vampire AMA because we had so much fun. We were like, surely no one would want to hear about this. And then one time, Dosky ran an AMA at a con. I don't remember which one. And we were like, wow, that was so fun. I wonder if people would have that much fun hearing about vampires. And they did. So, people want to hear about you. Please run an AMA.
Yeah, like the panel idea
There should
can
be an
be
AMA con.
AMA con. Literally anything. Like I said, if you just want to get on stage and start talking about your special interests or whatever, people show up. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I'd pay to hear vampires to hear about pay vampires to hear about vampires. I was gonna say it's free on YouTube. I don't know exactly where the panel is right now, but I'm sure it's on YouTube.
What con was that?
I don't know. They
Was
all
it
blur
this one?
together. Because I don't know if people are
Was it
familiar,
this
but
one
I do
last
the
year?
recording and the uploading for pretty much all of the cons. Well, not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like OtherCon,
First
HowlCon,
festival, okay.
Centaurus Festival. So like I don't know which one it's at. I remember uploading it. I don't know which one it's
You
at.
are like, you are a significant part of the backbone of the alterhuman con ecosystem.
Yeah, I don't talk a lot. I'm not in the chats, but I am definitely doing something con related when the con is on. By the way, if you missed any of the panels yesterday, they're online.
Ooh, we have a question.
Mm?
Would it be wise to chat about your panel idea with other con attendees before running it, just to gauge interest before you claim a slot in a later con?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
by
don't
all
think it's
means,
ever
you
a
don't
bad
have
idea.
to.
Yeah.
You don't gotta, but like, if you're worried that people won't want to go, absolutely.
Or if you're trying to find people to run it with you, then it would be wise.
Mm-hmm.
Or run it past like a friend or a friend group or a certain friend if you like think you trust their opinion. That's fine too. So you're like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Do you think it's a good idea, or do you have suggestions? There is. I don't know how active it is because I haven't peeked in a while. But there is a Discord that's specifically about panel prep that I'm in, and it is somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they posted a link to it at this con, but I think I got invited during other con. There was an invite there, and the whole panel was
One
just
of
people
those
like.
years.
I think it was last year, because it was recently that I joined.
Also a note about running panels with other people is if you run a panel with another person who has run panels before, even if you have run panels before, imposter syndrome is very, very real. I was so funny. I was talking to Ronnie and the Treehouse the other day, and I'm like, I know that this is irrational, but I'm worried I'm going to get up on stage with Nova, and she's immediately going to realize that I am some kind of fraud. I'm like a fake panelist, which is absurd. It's like, I do panels. I know you're like normal. You're not some kind of superhero crazy person. Like, I don't know why I thought that. I was like worried.
Oh
So
my
that's
God.
normal. Yeah, I was
It's
like,
funny 'cause
everyone's gonna know I'm fake.
It's weird because I feel the reverse. I was like, damn, you guys know what's up. You guys know how to run panels, and I'm over here and I'm just like staring at the ceiling, like I don't know what's going on. I didn't write a script. I threw this together like the week of the con. You can tell.
I also threw it together the week of the con, and you can tell. The only reason I got my slides done as early as I did was because I'm like, Nova can't know what I do with deadline.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to get this done early.
See, that's why co-panelists are good for accountability.
Yeah. That way you don't get it done the day before the panel, which Goratrix did once. I don't remember which one it is, and if I do ever find it, I'll never tell you. Because I think you can't tell. Because the thing is, what he does is he writes his outline like months in advance, and then he thinks about it and he stews on it for months, and then he goes into a panel writing stage, does it all at once, and I guess that works for him.
All right, there's a question. So, do you have a link to the panel prep Discord? I will have to look for it, but I believe so. Because I don't think they put an advertisement in this convention, but I know I swear it was at other con. I'll have to dig for it, but it should exist. I actually don't know who runs that server, and I don't want to check while I'm recording because I don't know if it's picking up that.
It absolutely would pick that up. With how
Yeah,
you're
I don't want to
streaming.
start digging through my personal notes when the recording's on, but after the panel, I will look for it.
Paige also says, be careful, sometimes you download your co-panelists from the internet and or start dating them.
Didn't that happen at a past Centaurus festival?
Paige indicates Orion and Chimeras.
Oh, no, I thought it was, hold on, I'm having a thought. It's gonna get there. It was Bite, Count, and Thomas, right? And that happened at Centaurus Festival like 2 years ago. I forgot what panel it was. Like, Meet Your Heroes or Cool
People.
Was
that a panel?
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I'm not losing it. I remember.
All right, well,
panel.
I mean, who's gonna creature up and run a panel with me and date me? This is a joke.
Look out, love will find you, goose with a knife.
I have a frighteningly large polycule that I artificially inflate to scare off predators.
Yeah, I also think Other Connect has a forum where people talk about like panel ideas too. If you're already in that server, check out that. I don't know if it's like a channel, like a text channel, or if it's a forum post, but it does. There is a section too, specifically in Other Connect, for like panel prep for OtherCon.
Every convention circuit on any topic slowly becomes a polycule. Just how life works. Incredible.
Are we allowed to add things from the stage chats to the starboard? We'll find out.
I think it lets you.
I think it used to not let you, but I'm pretty sure now it does.
Yep, it works.
Nice. Excellent.
The real convention was the polycule we made along the way. Polycule Con.
Oh, there we go. It's a channel. Yeah, panel prep. Perfect. So I mean, like, if that one is definitely geared, I think, more toward OtherCon. But if you showed up and started talking about Centaurus Festival, I don't think people would mind at all. But a lot of people attend all of them.
So says you can make the polycule even more enormous if you count heads instead of bodies. That is what my polycule does. If you put us all in the same room, it just looks like, I think, 4 people hanging out. But it's actually like a lot of people. But it's like, you could fit us in a car. Clown car.
Oh, thank you, Orion. There's a link to the panelist.
There's the panelist prep server.
I'm gonna grab that link. Oh god. And put that in the panel questions too, so it doesn't get buried right away. We interviewed the standard ultimate polycule is 500 plus.
Nice. Hang on, I'm realizing that every panel conversation always ends up on the greater alterhuman polycule. It always comes up. Every con, multiple times. It's real. There are several inevitabilities at alterhuman cons. Technical difficulties, onion, and polycules.
I was gonna say soup too, but they yeah, kind of like
And
permeated all of
soup.
them. They kind of permeated all of them. It started at OtherCon, and now it's just like everywhere. So we're doing SoupCon next year.
Soup.
Also, people discovering new types. Yeah, especially when there's like, anytime there's a panel where it's like, hey, here's this term. I'm going to talk about my experience. All of a sudden, everyone has like, there'll be like, oh my God, there's a word for that. And a bunch of awakenings in the chat.
Is this a safe space? Can I share another secret?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't like soup.
The hell? That's fine. It's,
Oh, this is not a safe space suddenly.
uh-oh. Dangerous place. I like the idea of soup. I'm just terrible at cooking it, so I don't eat it. Oh, so if you I think I can say this. If you donate to the Internet Archive, I put a few soup recipes in there because we have a digital swag bag. And one of the items I threw in was my mother's favorite soups. But I'm not giving you any sneak peeks. You gotta donate. See, Pandora knows because Pandora donated. There's, I think, 5 recipes. I texted her like 2 days before the con. I was like, what's your favorite soup recipes? And she sent me like a screenshot of like her notebook. And it's like, it's this one. And I had to like type it all up.
That's such mom behavior.
She sent me a picture of like another one was like a Facebook post. I'm sorry.
My
go
mom and I
ahead.
found a cheesecake recipe online, and it was so good. I told all my friends about it, and they were like, "Oh, can we get the recipe?" Mom's like, "Sure, I'll like prepare that for them." Like, "No, Mom, the link." And she's like, "Oh yeah, link." I'm like, "You don't have to prepare a little card. They're on the internet. Just link it."
Yeah, I just told my mom it was for her friends. Like, I don't know how to explain Discord or alterhumans. I'm just thinking a friend wants the soup recipe. So she's taking like pictures of her computer.
All right, looks like it's 1 o'clock.
Yes.
It's my time. It's end time. Whatever time it is for all of you.
It's noon here. Will you be linking to the slides once the panel is over? Yeah, we can do that.
4 a.m. Please go to bed. You poor thing. Oh my god, you woke up for the panel.
You are
I'm
far
so
stronger
sorry.
than I am.
You're stronger than me. If there was a panel at 4 a.m., I'd be like, that seems like not my problem.
I sleep right through that thing.
All right, well, thank you all for attending. This was a lot of fun. I hope you guys learned something.
Yep. And once this ends, I will put a link to the slides in the panel questions channel.